Last time, we saw BROLY get more adjusted to Earth and his own power. The World Tournament begun and Babidi has made his move. How's that going to affect things here? We'll be covering that and more in this third part of What If Z BROLY Turned Good. Deborah attacks the group, and Gohan immediately blocks it. The first fight against Babidi's crew begins as Gohan faces Deborah. Goku watches pretty closely because he wants to see how Gohan's grown. But Vegeta, BROLY, and Piccolo know he has this in the bag. They've seen what Gohan's been up to, and he's definitely not rusty here. Pretty quickly, he ends up defeating Deborah, especially because Shin urges him to defeat Deborah quickly because they don't want to give too much more energy to Babidi. They don't know how much he has already, and any more could be really bad. So, pretty quickly, Gohan ends the fight, and ends up killing Deborah too, and then they rush into the ship. But it seems like it's already too late. Before they even fight anyone inside the ship, Babidi has already started feeding the energy to Buu's egg, and it was a good idea to absorb energy from two people at once. The best thing is, with all those memories coursing through Broly's head, that made his power actually surge even though he didn't transform. Not much was stolen from Gohan because he was in base when his power was taken, but for Broly it was almost like his full power was there. And with the two of them combined, Babidi is shocked to see that he has more than enough energy to actually revive Buu, so by the time everyone gets into the ship, Buu is already in the process of awakening. Spopovich and Yamu got all the energy needed, and then some. They back out of the ship, and then Babidi comes outside with the egg, and they all watch as it hatches, with Buu being freed once more. Shin thinks it's all over for them. He was hoping they could stop Buu from being revived, but now that he's here, they won't be able to. He's too strong. And sensing his power, they could tell he's definitely powerful. But Goku's first instinct is to look at BROLY. He asks if he could tap into that power he used before when they fought. Does he remember that? And now BROLY does, but he just got it revealed to him again, and he doesn't really know if he wants to use that here. What if he loses control and becomes an even worse monster than Buu? That's fine. Maybe they could all just fight together and that'll actually defeat him. Goku, Vegeta, and Gohan all go Super Saiyan 2. Goku's not going to Super Saiyan 3 just yet, but he does have that up his sleeve. And as for BROLY, he doesn't transform at all, and Vegeta asks what he's doing. He kind of backs down a bit. He can't become that same monster again. Now that he remembers that completely and knows the feeling of turning into the legendary Super Saiyan, he doesn't even want to turn regular Super Saiyan because he worries that he'll just destroy everything in the process. But he still is going to fight, just in his base. So the four all team up and start fighting Buu. They are actually making good progress because, well, obviously Gohan and Vegeta are stronger than normal, and it's a 4v1 with 3 Super Saiyan 2s plus base BROLY. And this is pushing Buu back. And Shin's getting some hope seeing this because he didn't think they'd be able to fight Buu off like that. Plus, Goku's still not at full power yet. He knows if he uses Super Saiyan 3, he's going to shorten his time here on Earth, and he's only going to use that if absolutely necessary. But then, Babidi tries something that he hasn't really thought of, especially because of how dangerous it is. He wants to keep Buu under his control, but he's going to lose if Buu just dies right away, so he might need to power up Buu some more, and maybe he can do that. Buu is obviously being held back by something within him, and that's good. But at the same time, Babidi might need to get rid of that. So he starts looking into Buu's mind. It's very risky on Babidi's behalf, because Buu might become uncontrollable, but hey, he could always seal Buu away again if he needs. And as they're fighting Buu, they notice him hold onto his head, and he screams out in pain. Buu is evil, but that full evil isn't being utilized right now. Babidi's trying to draw it out even further, and essentially, he's trying to make the evil side of Buu take over the good side of Buu. Buu begins warping. For a moment, he even turns gray, and looks a bit different, and then he just warps into something else completely beyond that. There's a huge cloud of steam as Buu's ki surges. Babidi didn't expect this, but hey, it seems to have worked. Buu's definitely powered up. He's not being held back by that goodness within him, and he's a lot more coherent too. Pretty much on accident, Babidi basically speedran the process of turning Buu into Super Buu. No need for Buu to split into good and evil Buu, and have evil Buu absorb a good Buu. That's basically what just happened here. And now we have Super Buu fighting the group. Babidi did know this is going to be risky, but Buu's not even focused on him right now. And he should be able to control Buu later on by threatening to seal him away. But Buu's a bit smarter now, and a bit more cunning. He knows that Babidi did this, and he knows why Babidi did this too. And he also knows Babidi has power over him, so while Buu is fighting the others, he takes an opportunity here. At one point, Goku hits him with a blast, and a piece of Buu flies off. He regenerates it, but that piece of him that flew off, he keeps it over there, and slowly it moves towards Babidi. Babidi's focused on the actual fight and doesn't even notice this happening. And Buu doesn't kill Babidi. He absorbs him. Babidi is caught by that piece of Buu, and then that assimilates with him, giving Buu a really nice power-up in terms of magic, and a lot more intelligence. They thought Buu couldn't have powered up that much from whatever Babidi did, but now he actually is noticeably stronger, both in terms of magic and strength. More importantly, he's a lot smarter though. Goku looks to BROLY again. He really needs to break out that power that he has. And Goku's also going to bring out some more of his own. And he showcases Super Saiyan 3, shocking everyone. He really wants to make this fight quick because if he uses this power too long, he's not going to have much time to fight here anyways. The fight is pretty even now with Goku having powered up and Buu having powered up too. But the issue is Buu has a much wider range of abilities now thanks to his magic. Not that he didn't have access to magic before, but now he has everything that Babidi could do. Plus, he knows he could just absorb people, and they know he absorbed Babidi somehow, but they didn't necessarily see it. So maybe he can catch them off guard. Probably not all of them at once, but at least one or two of them. He has multiple ways of absorbing them. He could do it through direct contact, he could rip off a piece of himself, he could maybe even turn them into candy and then eat them. They don't know what he's capable of. And then, he finally gets his chance. At one point, Gohan gets in close to fight him. Close enough where Buu could actually make direct contact with him too. And Gohan obviously knows to watch out because Buu just absorbed Babidi, but they didn't see exactly how he did it, so he's not exactly sure what to be careful of. What he doesn't realize is that Buu could just grab onto him and absorb him that way. So as Gohan lands an attack, instead of countering, Buu welcomes it. Gohan punches him, and Buu softens himself, catching Gohan's fist with his body, and then wrapping the rest of himself around Gohan, quickly and easily absorbing him, with no one being able to see it coming. Pretty quickly, Buu just went through a bunch of different forms, and has powered up significantly. Babidi unleashing his evil side wasn't really a great idea because that led to him getting stronger, then absorbing Babidi, then getting smarter, and then figuring out he could just absorb the others pretty quickly. Now they have one less fighter, and even worse, it means that Buu is stronger. And if they kill him, that means they're also killing Gohan too, which isn't too big of an issue. They do have the Dragon Balls, but it still is an issue. And seeing Gohan get absorbed, of course, gets Goku and BROLY angry, and especially with BROLY, this means some of his powers coming out. But he still holds himself back because he is worried. And Goku reminds BROLY he can defeat Buu. He's sure of it. If BROLY actually shows his full power here, there's no way he can't stop Buu, even with Gohan's power. He's been holding back this whole time, not even using regular Super Saiyan. And Vegeta says he just needs to unleash his power. Don't be worried about the consequences, because there won't be any. But BROLY is worried. He remembers everything. He destroyed everything in his path, multiple times. He's not like that anymore. And Goku says that's exactly right. He's not like that anymore. But they can't do anything against Buu as is right now. And imagine he absorbs the rest of them too. Next, Buu aims for Vegeta, quickly dashing across the battlefield and fighting him alone. With a single hit, he takes Vegeta out, then lifts him up and absorbs him in front of Goku and BROLY's eyes. This is such a fun strategy for him. Just absorb everyone and grow stronger that way. He's already unstoppable, and he might as well make himself even more unstoppable. And Goku reminds BROLY, Earth is going to be destroyed regardless if BROLY doesn't transform. So even if BROLY's afraid of that risk, why not transform? What are the options here? Let Buu destroy everything, or at least have a fighting chance against him and maybe everything gets destroyed, but there still is that chance they could win. BROLY needs to stop being so concerned about his power. If he truly wants to control it, he needs to try it. He can't just keep it locked away forever. And Goku is right. He finally sees it now. Well, if Buu's gonna destroy everything regardless, it probably doesn't matter if he unleashes his power. He remembers how he transformed before, and he doesn't hold back. First, he goes into regular Super Saiyan, and nothing bad happens. But then he starts powering up even further, and Goku feels that exact same power he felt years ago. And while he's trying to act confident, it is a little bit worrying to sense this again, especially since BROLY's grown so much stronger. And even Buu watches on confused because he didn't think BROLY would showcase that type of power. Now he has the knowledge of Gohan and Vegeta, but still, this is shocking to him. And while he's transforming, Buu tries to go in and stop it, but he can't even get close to BROLY. The aura that he's letting off, it creates almost a barrier around him that knocks everything away. Shin, Kibito, Piccolo, and Krillin, they're all sent flying, and Goku has to brace himself. It feels like the whole Earth is shaking. Not just that, but everything else around it. Across the universe this is felt. And then he stops powering up. For the first time in many years, BROLY's become the legendary Super Saiyan again. And briefly he feels a sense of rage, letting out a sadistic laugh, but then that subsides. He recollects himself. That power did take hold of him for a second, but he feels normal. He even looks over to Goku, and says his name. The fact that he didn't say Kakarot's probably a good sign too. But BROLY says he has control. He knows what he has to do here. He then vanishes from sight, and then Buu is sent flying up into space. And then appearing in front of him is BROLY. Within that split second, BROLY moved behind Buu, hit him with an attack, and then threw him into the atmosphere. And now they're fighting up here. And BROLY's somehow fine in space. Oh yeah, Goku forgot he was kind of capable of that. He hits Buu with a single attack, and half of Buu is destroyed. He regenerates from this, but now he tries to attack BROLY and he can't do anything. The tides have completely shifted. If BROLY transformed before, Buu definitely wouldn't have been able to do anything anyways, but even here, with all of his power-ups and his new intelligence, it's not going to be enough against BROLY. BROLY then grabs onto Buu's antenna, swinging him around above him, then throwing him down to the earth below. And right before he crashes into the surface, BROLY gets there first, catching him, hitting him with a devastating gut punch. An attack so powerful, Buu accidentally spits up Vegeta and Gohan, but quickly absorbs them again. And BROLY sees now. He thinks he has a way of freeing them. He slams Buu's head between both of his hands, sending a powerful shockwave through him and also just paralyzing him for a brief moment. BROLY then grabs onto his jaw, opens his mouth, and then reaches down inside of Buu. Shin and Kibito wonder what he's doing, and Piccolo thinks he's trying to free Gohan and Vegeta. They don't even know if this is going to work, but BROLY then does grab onto something, and then he pulls a couple things outside of Buu. Gohan, Vegeta, and Fat Buu, which is weird. They don't know how another version of Buu's in there, but that's the good Buu that was suppressed by Babidi. And Buu starts warping. He transforms, and now he's in a new form. He turned into Kid Buu, which terrifies Shin because he remembers seeing this version of Buu before, and he's completely uncontrolled, but that doesn't matter to BROLY. Before Buu could even act, BROLY grabs onto him once more, and places another hand on Buu's torso. A small green blast comes out of it, and then Buu flies up into the sky. The energy starts to expand further and further, and Buu is completely obliterated as there's a powerful green explosion. And BROLY watches on laughing. Not in a sadistic way, but just laughing because he's having a lot of fun now. He's no longer restraining himself, but he still kept a sense of himself. He then powers down, going back to normal. And Goku's really glad to see this. Not just because BROLY's really strong, but he has a full control in his power. Shin and Kibito breathe a sigh of relief, and then Gohan and Vegeta wake up, learning that Broly actually did break out that power. They definitely have a lot to work on now. So, as for the tournament, this fight with Boo did start before the tournament started, and it did go pretty fast. Thankfully, Mr. Satan was able to stall before the tournament started because a lot of contestants just up and left, but now they're all back. So, the tournament starts and it can actually go normally. Only issue is, Spopovich and Yamu are out, so they get replaced by some other people. Not a big deal though. Everyone gets to enjoy the tournament and have fun without a bunch of people dying for once. Let's skip to the semifinals of the tournament. The first match is Gohan versus Broly, which Broly ends up winning, and then the other semifinals match is Goku versus Vegeta. And now Vegeta knows that Goku has the extra form beyond Super Saiyan 2, but Goku doesn't really want to use it because he already wasted a lot of his time here on Earth, and this will cut it even shorter. Although it does kind of irk Vegeta because he doesn't want Goku to hold back just for that. So Goku does go Super Saiyan 3, and he wins that fight. At least Vegeta knows where he stands. And now we get to the final match of the tournament, Goku versus Broly. It's pretty cool to Goku because he never thought he'd be fighting alongside Broly, especially after what happened when he last encountered him. And after fighting alongside him, now he gets to fight against him again, but this time in better circumstances, and it's not a desperate death match. Goku really hopes he gets to see Broly more after this. But he holds nothing back here, using Super Saiyan 3 again, even if it is going to shorten his time. And he asks Broly not to hold back either. And Broly transforms into his legendary Super Saiyan form once more, although the fight is very brief. Pretty quickly, Broly ends up winning the tournament and becomes the champion. Mr. Satan's terrified because he's probably going to have to fight against Broly, although just as luck, he doesn't even need to. Not that it would have been a problem for him, he could definitely defeat Broly. Anyways, now with that all done, Goku's going to be going back to Otherworld pretty soon. He spends some more time with his friends and family here, as well as getting to know Broly a bit more. Rather, the new Broly. It would be nice to see Broly again soon, although just not in Otherworld because that would mean Broly's dead. He'll find some other way to come back here soon enough, not just for Broly but for everybody else. And he thanks Goku. Without him, well, he doesn't even know if he'd be able to tap into this power again. It's because of Goku that he got his memory back, and then later accessed this form after being scared of it. And you know, something's really weird about Broly calling him Goku. Like, Vegeta calls him Kakarot, and he's used to Broly calling him Kakarot too. So, when he says thanks to Goku, Goku says Broly can call him Kakarot instead. It feels much more natural to hear that from Broly, and that's one of the few people he's fine with calling him Kakarot. Goku says his goodbyes, and then goes back to Otherworld. And with that, we leave off here for now. What'd you guys think about this part? What's gonna happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help out the channel, and it shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.